Hello, I'm Councillor Adele Brown, Cabinet Member for Planning and Infrastructure. I'm here at the Chapelgate site, one of our new developments. We all know someone, a son, a daughter, a friend, who dreams of home ownership but feels unlocked out of the market. No matter how hard they save, the goalposts keep on moving. It's frustrating, it's unfair, and it needs to change. That's why we're making home ownership more achievable with real options to help people buy their first home. Here are some of the schemes currently available. First Home Scheme, with between 30 to 50% of market price for our first-time buyers. Shared ownership, buy 25 to 75% of the share of a home and pay a subsidised rent on the rest. Rent to buy, renting at a reduced rate while saving for a deposit. Mortgage Guarantee Scheme, secure a mortgage with just 5% deposit. Alongside these schemes, our Basildon First Charter ensures local homes for local people, providing a priority for Basildon residents, key workers and those in need. All new developments will be marketed exclusively to local people for up to 12 months before being offered outside the borough. This isn't just about houses, it's about keeping families together, supporting key workers and giving hard-working people a fair shot at home ownership. Because a home isn't just a place, it's the foundation of everything.
Good evening, Basildon. I hope you're all well. This is Councillor Gavin Callaghan, the leader of the council. I'm here with our weekly update. Thank you very much for taking the time out this evening to come and join me. It has been an incredibly busy week. Anybody following the social media activity of the council this week will know just how much has been going on. I want to spend the next hour talking through all of the updates that we have had, both what we've been up to, but also the stuff that is coming up over the next couple of weeks as well. And I want to use this time to answer your questions as well. As always, you can, throughout the course of this next hour, leave your questions in the comment section. I'll try and get to as many of them as I can. If I can't do it directly here, I will come back to you and I'll answer them in the chat. We've also got some of our council officers who will be responding in the chat as we go as well. So hopefully we can have a really great interactive session over the next hour and you find these useful. We've got lots that we want to go through. So we want to talk about the housing. It's been a week full of housing announcements, from council housing to temporary accommodation through to key worker housing as well. We're going to talk about all of that coming up. I also want to use today to give you a bit more of an update on the regeneration. I was at the Overview and Scrutiny Committee on Tuesday night, giving an update on the regeneration plans across 4 out of our 5 towns. And I've seen lots of questions coming up from people about this as well. So I'm going to give you a little update on that. We've got our Easter egg drive. We are trying to make sure that every child in temporary accommodation, every elderly person living in our sheltered housing schemes has got Easter eggs this year, spreading a little bit of joy, a little bit of cheer. I'll give you some updates on that. We've also got yet another good news story around enforcement and antisocial behaviour. So again, I'll be talking about that and also giving you a bit of an update about the outreach service and what we're going to be doing over the course of the next couple of weeks or so in giving people the support that they need around things to do with finance, council tax, anyone in financial difficulty, some of the help that we can offer you there. But this week started with some sad news this week with the passing of Councillor David Harrison. Dave was a brilliant councillor who graced this chamber with many fine speeches, with many rants and raves as well. He was a great guy. He did an awful lot for the borough. He was one of, if not the longest serving councillors in Basildon Council's history. He was first elected almost half a century ago and then re-elected just 12 months ago at the 2024 elections. Whatever your politics, whatever your stripes, you can't help but respect somebody like David Harrison for the work that he's done. And so to honour Dave's memory, we've put together this short video to look back on the life and times of Councillor David Harrison.
Last Friday, Basildon politics lost a giant with the passing of Councillor David Harrison. Over the past 49 years, David served the people of Basildon, Freans and Wickford with unwavering dedication, passion and integrity. First elected in 1976 to the newly formed Basildon District Council, and again in 2024, perhaps in what will be the final elections of this council, David was known throughout the borough as a doughty champion for his constituents and a pioneering believer in the potential of Basildon. David was the definition of a community champion. He spent much of his early life in Leindon before the new town was even enshrined in law in 1949. He witnessed our borough's transformation, watching homes rise, industries grow and opportunities take root for generations of residents who chose Basildon as their home. In 1986, as chairman of the council, he famously welcomed Muhammad Ali to the borough, a moment still fondly remembered by many. In 2016, he was elected as the mayor of Basildon, a role he carried out with pride and care. During his mayoralty, he raised vital funds for the children's unit at Basildon Hospital, supporting the purchase of life-saving equipment that's still in use on the ward today. He visited dozens of community groups and voluntary organisations, and he personally welcomed Basildon Olympians home from the Rio Games. But above all, he was a tireless advocate for Wickford. Known affectionately across the council as Mr. Wickford, there was not a day that passed without David fighting for the residents he represented. He was meticulous in his work, a details man through and through. He read every page of every report and knew every policy inside out. His grasp of council business was the stuff of legend. In a kinder political age, David's story would be a tale told often, a lifetime of service rooted in love for this place and its people. On behalf of the Council, I extend our deepest condolences to his wife Linda, his sons Lee and Dan, his daughter Louise, and all his family and friends. On behalf of the whole Council, thank you, Councillor Harrison, for all that you did, for all those people, for all those years. You will be remembered fondly and missed dearly.
Dave will be really well and truly missed, and it's been incredible for the family. I know I've been speaking to Linda, Dave's wife, to see all of the messages that have poured in across social media over the last week. It's been a huge comfort to the family. They are currently working through the logistics and the plans for the funeral. And of course, as soon as we know more here at the council, we will communicate that with the public as well, because as the family have said, they understand after half a century of service to this borough, people will want to pay their final respects to David Harrison when he is laid to rest. So yeah, very sad times, very emotional last weekend. Lots of officers, lots of members looking back on Dave fondly. And as I said there, we wish him, or we wish to thank him for all that he did for our borough. One of the things that Dave was really passionate about was housing, and he was a strong advocate for building new housing and giving more people opportunities. And literally 200 metres from where I am sitting now is the Chapelgate development, which is on the old derelict car park next to the BP garage. Chapelgate, as it is now known, was topped out this week. That means it has reached its highest point, and we are now at a point where the construction of the site is all but done, and it's now about the aesthetics and the decorating of that site. I am really, really proud that 70 brand new council houses are going to be built on that Chapelgate site. So the whole site itself is a 105 house development, and 70 of those homes are going to be brand new council homes for our housing stock. Now, we will use that for council tenants, people who are on the waiting list, Basildon people who've been on the waiting list for a minimum of 7 years. But we will also use it for some temporary accommodation as well, getting people out of bed and breakfasts, out of hotels, into proper accommodation where they can live. But that development is a key development. It's been delivered by Sempra, which is a house building company owned by Basildon Council, alongside our partners at the Hill Group. And one of the things that is key to Sempra Housing is building key worker housing. So we've got the hospital up the road, we've got lots of schools, the police station, the fire station. We really want to make sure that our borough's key workers can get access to the housing that they need. So there are 35 brand new key worker homes on the site. Just yesterday, we had Baroness Sharon Taylor, who is the Minister for Housing in the Department for the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government. And we went and saw some of the houses that are actually being built, and they're fantastic. They're really big, really spacious houses, going to have incredibly low energy bills, and they're in a great location right next to the town centre, right next to the train station, near to the bus station as well. And so it was great to go along to see that happening. They told us originally that they thought that was going to be ready and open in 2026. It actually looks as though they might finish in 2025, and we might get people moved into Chapelgate in time for Christmas, which would be amazing. There's 2 blocks that you can see that have come out of the ground. Those 2 blocks, one of them is going to be called St. Dominic's House. The other is going to be called St. Patrick's House. And then you've got Chapelgate Road along the middle of it, where we've got the houses being built. It's a brilliant development, and it shows what can happen when the council is determined to build council houses. The government is determined to get things building. The Labour government released £11.5 million in order to get that out of the ground. So if you think that was just in July when they did that, and we're sat here now in early April, and we've got that scheme ready to rock and roll. Brilliant thing happening there. But what's really positive about that is we're not just building homes, we're not just getting people off the waiting list, we're not just supporting our key workers. We promised that we were going to create a construction academy. So we are keen to ensure that local Basildon people are learning the skills to be able to go and build those local homes as well. And on site at Chapelgate, Gary Staines, Site Ready Solutions, they're doing some great work down there alongside the Hill Group. to start the construction academy. So we've got young people with no qualifications ever before who are coming on site, and they're being trained up in bricklaying on site with site ready solutions, and then they're going out into the Chapelgate site and building those homes. And I was able to go along yesterday with Baroness Taylor to have a look at all of the guys and girls who are down there working on the site, meet some of those young kids, some of their stories, brilliant, perhaps their life going in the wrong direction, but this is an opportunity for them to come and learn a skill, learn a trade, get on the tools, get out there, start earning some proper money, and they've embraced it. And I've said all along, with the amount of houses and the amount of regeneration that we've got going on in this borough, we are going to create jobs for life for Basildon Brickies, Chippies and Sparkies, right? And we are seeing the fruits of that. This isn't me just sat here in a council chamber talking the talk. We are actually delivering on that promise. The Construction Academy is going from strength to strength. I want to make it even bigger. We want to put more investment into it. We want to get even more young people. So if you know somebody right now who you think might be up for training in being a bricklayer, who might want to learn a new skill, perhaps change jobs, go and get a new job, and going out on the tools might be for them, get in touch, because that Basildon Construction Academy is doing great work, and it is going from strength to strength. So Chapelgate is going well, 70 brand new council houses there, 35 new houses going there for key workers in the borough, and the Construction Academy up and running, training young people in Basildon to build homes for Basildon people, which is fantastic to see. One of the other developments that we have been promising to bring forward was the Row store in Billericay. And this is for temporary accommodation. So people who are in bed and breakfasts, in hotels, in some of our temporary accommodation around the borough. On Monday, we opened 41 brand new TA homes in Billericay at the Row store, close to Billericay train station. I went down there, I met those families as they were moving in. Again, incredibly emotional. Imagine trying to raise your family in a one-bedroom hotel room. I mean, it's incredible. And I've seen some of the comments online about this, and I just want to be really clear. The people who find themselves in temporary accommodation are often people who, for the last 15, 20 years, have been in the private rented sector. They've been paying £1,200, £1,500 a month in the private rented sector. When Liz Truss came along and she blew up the British economy and the mortgage rate spiraled, what happened was private landlords either doubled their rent, tripled their rent, because the mortgage interest rate increase meant that they had to do that, or they exited the market altogether and they sold their properties and sold their homes. For a lot of the families who are in temporary accommodation, they have been paying the private rented market for, as I say, 10, 15, 20 years, but they can't afford with their wages to pay £2,500, £3,000 a month in private rent. And as a consequence of that, and the fact that there is next to no availability in the sector, they have ended up coming into temporary accommodation and living in hotels. Now they're in these temporary accommodation units in Billericay. The idea now is that they will be able to continue their lives, get their lives back on track, and hopefully be able to get back into the private rented sector as and when the market starts to get better and the prices start to come down. Prices will come down when supply increases. At the moment, the demand is too high, as we know, and that's why the competition for prices is so high. But 41 brand new sites, that goes alongside the 65 units that we opened in Wickford back in February as well. So we've taken over 100 people out of bed and breakfasts and hotels in our first year in office. We've got them into proper accommodation. We are bringing forward plans for more of these sites as well, and we will be keeping you updated as we go. But that, I hope you would all agree, is again another sign of major delivery with the Row store opening. They're fantastic flats. The people I met, great people who need to catch a break, and hopefully this will help them, as I say, to get themselves back on track. And just listening to the kids who were in those rooms as they were able to run around their flats as opposed to being cooped up in one bedroom in a hotel next to their mum and dad's bed. It was brilliant to see. And that's not all. The good news just keeps on coming this week, because last Friday we opened 48 brand new council homes on Cricketers Court in Pitsea Northwest at the top of Burnt Mills Road. And this is a brilliant development. I went over there and had a look at that development. This was one that back in 2019, a private landlord came forward, a private developer said they wanted to build it. But the council said to me, look, they'll build it, but we think we might be able to acquire these sites for the HRA, for the council housing stock. What do you want to do, leader? And that was one of those things where I said, go for it, let's do it. And over the course of the last 5 years, at different intervals, Sempra have bought it, and then the council have bought it. And now we're in a position where we've got 48 families moving into Cricketers Court over the next week or so. And again, some of this will be temporary accommodation residents, people who've been moving around different places, now getting a secure permanent home of their own. A lot of people who've perhaps been in overcrowded accommodation, now getting a place of their own. It's really, really high spec. There was an issue to do with gas getting in and out of the properties. We fixed that. We got that sorted. And now those properties are open, and they're at a really, really high spec as well. So that has been a really great development. And I'm also delighted to say that the two blocks at the moment, they're called Block A and Block B. They are going to be renamed Archibald House after Councillor Bill Archibald, who was the longest, one of the longest serving councillors in our council's history. And the second will be Harrison House after Councillor David Harrison as well, who was also one of the longest serving councillors in the council's history. So those two blocks will be renamed after Bill Archibald and David Harrison as well. This is all part of our commitment to build 300 brand new council houses across the borough. And in our first year, we have come good on around about 100 new council properties. So 70 being built over at Chapelgate, 48 now opened in Pitsea. We've got more coming in Broadmain on Church Road. We've got some coming at Tyfields as well. So there's lots of good news stories around us delivering on our promises around council housing. So look, it's been a big week of announcements on housing. It's been great to get out and about across the borough to see what has been going on. But I'm keen to answer any questions that you might have, particularly on housing. And just taking a look here, it is great to see people talking about Councillor Harrison as well. Lots of people I know who met Dave over many years, and those guys, when you met Dave, you couldn't forget Dave. He was one of those characters who was not afraid to tell you what he thought, but he was also incredibly respectful and always wanting what was best for Basildon. And so, yeah, I keep those comments about Dave coming, because I know the family are reading them, and it is giving them lots of comfort. Emma has asked me here, what about the local housing allowance? Is that going up to match the extortionate rates on private rented prices? Emma, it is a brilliant question. It's a question that we are continuously asking the Treasury because at the moment, the LHA rate does not keep up at all with the pace, right? So what I mean by that is that the amount of housing benefit that we get for example, a two-bedroom property is about £700 a month, okay? But if you are in the private rented sector in Basildon now, you are not going to be able to find a property, a two-bedroom property, for less than £1,200, £1,300, £1,400 and north of that. So it is almost impossible to make that money stretch to the private rented sector. And even people who can come and top it up slightly with their wages, they can't top it up to the tune of an additional £500, £600, £700, £800 as well. So that's what I mean by the private rented market crashing and that being a real problem. Now, this disproportionately affects us in the south because house prices and rental prices in the south are a lot higher than they are in other parts of the country. But it also disproportionately affects us because the local housing allowance rate is dependent on each council. So it varies around each council based on what the local housing market looks like. So where we are, you have lots of London boroughs who can spend a lot more money on that. So again, to put this into context, a single person in a one-bedroom property, we can get about £450 a month in local housing allowance for that single person in a one-bedroom or in a studio property. A London borough is able to pay about £1,100. So if you're the private landlord at the moment, who are you going to go with? Are you going to go with Basildon Council and get £450? Or are you going to go with a London borough and get £1,100? Now, I've long argued, both now as leader, but also when I was the leader of the council before, that council should not be allowed to spend outside of their borough boundaries what the difference. So, for example, if you were trying to place people in Basildon, you shouldn't be allowed to spend more than £450, not £1,100. That has never changed, and therefore councils in Essex have got our hands tied behind our back really on the local housing allowance, because we're not getting enough money out of government, and we're being overrun by the amount of money that other boroughs are able to pay in the areas around us. So this is a huge issue, Emma. It is one that I'm consistently talking to the government about. I'm also part of a leaders network where everybody is talking about this as well. So it's a great question. If I ever get an update on that, if we ever get changes to that, I will be sure to come back and to update you as well. I've got another question here from Duncan English, who said the Prime Minister announced additional funding for local community policing. Could we work with the PFCC, the Police and Fire Crime Commissioner, to encourage some effective, robust, proactive policing? And am I aware of the incident of a child being struck by a quad bike in Wickford? And so the answer to that is yes, I am aware of that incident. I know that the police have been looking into that. In relation to the additional money for community policing, I haven't looked at the announcement today. I've been sat in meetings all day today, so I haven't had an opportunity to go through that in detail, but we'll pick that up with officers. What I do know is that since July last year, the Labour government has given Essex Police an additional £27.1 million. I was part of lobbying the government to get an additional £2.5 million of that a couple of months back, which saved the PCSOs. And so we need neighbourhood policing. The government is very clear that they want neighbourhood policing, but we also want antisocial behaviour to be dealt with, which is why here at the council we've passed the PSPO, the Public Spaces Protection Order, and we launched last week the Public Safety Community Enforcement Team. And so those guys and girls are going to be out and about across all of our town centres, enforcing and moving people on and fining people who are engaged in antisocial behaviour and in other criminal activity. And as you'll know from the announcements that we've made, we will be repurposing Wickford Police Station, and we will be turning Wickford Police Station into a community safety hub, and we will be, hopefully the police and others will be able to work out of Wickford Police Station, as well as other ASB groups and community safety officers, ASB officers from the council as well. So I am aware of the particular issues around ASB in Wickford and in other areas as well, and therefore we will be doing some more work on that. Keep your questions coming. I'm going to come back to questions shortly as well, but I wanted to give you an update on regeneration, because we've had a big week when it comes to regeneration. I've been making lots of updates or providing lots of updates to the council through the Overview and Scrutiny Committee. And sticking with Wickford for the moment, we have some really positive news around Wickford, in that the application for the new supermarket in Wickford on the site of the old co-op, that application is now in. So we have that application in. It's working its way through the process with the planning officers at the moment. We hope to get that to committee in the next couple of months as well. As soon as we get that through, as you can see on screen now, it's for a large supermarket. There's around 70 flats associated with this application. Would I like flats? No, I wouldn't, but nonetheless, in order to make it economically viable, the developer is putting flats into the application. But it is a sizable application. It is a sizable shop as well. So very similar to the footprint of the co-op site at the moment. Heads of terms have been agreed with a major retailer to go onto that site as well. So if the planning committee are minded to support the planning application, then hopefully they'll be able to get on site and start rebuilding that supermarket as quickly as possible, because it is a real eyesore down there at the moment, and that really does need to change. Talking of eyesores, one that has been an eyesore for the last 20 years is Laindon, and I've got lots of positive news about Laindon, and that people will know, anyone who's driven through Laindon recently will see that there's lots of roadworks going on. So there's lots of cabling, there's lots of plumbing going on underneath the road network at the moment, and that is in order to get the Laindon shopping centre ready and fit for purpose. And the good news is that the Laindon shopping centre construction is going to begin in September. So they're going to be ready once they've finished the roadworks and they've got that all sorted. They're going to be back on site building the shopping centre and the flats at the Langdon site. There's going to be about 15 brand new shops, hundreds of new jobs created on that parade of shops. So people are going to have a proper shopping centre again in Langdon, which is hugely, hugely exciting. And before all of that happens, I'm pleased to say that Lidl are going to be on site in June. The Lidl, which is, as you look at the site, it will be the left of the site. They are going to be moving on there in June, beginning the construction of the new Lidl site there, and that is going to open in March 2026. So in Langdon, all of that is positive. A huge thank you to the Langdon councillors, Victoria Joseph, Terry Webb, Jessica Power, Aidan McGurran, Alex Harrison, and Melissa McGeorge, who have been pushing for this regeneration to continue, working really, really hard to make sure we got the highways bond issues sorted with the county council, and then we managed to get the sanctuary guys who now own it to get them back on site and get them working through to the construction phase. It's been a huge effort. Thank you to those Langdon Labour councillors who managed to get that over the line, and that is really, really positive. So the Lidl starting in June, the rest of the shopping centre and the flats starting construction in September, and then in 2026, all of that will start to open as well. So that's positive news for Wickford, positive news for Langdon. The next one is Basildon. So I've given you some updates on where we are with the West Gate, but now let's look at the East Gate. And let's have a look at what is going on here, because the hospital that we know is coming, work has begun on the hospital as well. So the ground floor and the middle floor is going to be a brand new private hospital. It's going to be doing about 80% work, which is NHS work, helping to clear the COVID backlog. And that work is underway as we speak. And they are hoping to have the first phase of that open by the autumn of this year. So look, the Eastgate Shopping Centre, I know there's lots of issues at the moment about crime and antisocial behaviour in there, but the Eastgate Shopping Centre is going from strength to strength. So we've got some big high street retailers coming back into the Eastgate. We've got Waterstones opening in a couple of weeks' time. So if you're a book nerd like me, that's a great thing to see Waterstones coming back into the town centre. But we've also got the hospital there, and we've got a new family leisure activity going on the top floor. So this will mean that the Eastgate can stay open longer because the hospital will be 24/7. So we're going to have more footfall. We're going to have more things going on. The F&B, the food and beverage offer, will be better as well. So this is a huge positive. One thing that's not part of the update that I can give you is that the Wetherspoons, they are due to go in this month and begin work on the Wetherspoons. And they tell me that that will be a 4 to 5 month turnaround. So again, by the autumn, we should have Wetherspoons open in Basildon Town Centre, and we will have the Eastgate Hospital open. And we're very, very close to announcing new leases on the side of the cinema, which the council own, that faces out towards the new Wetherspoons. So we've got some heads of terms being agreed at the moment. Some very exciting news coming for shoppers for people who are in the town for food and beverage and that kind of thing. So we've got some exciting announcements coming on that in the next few weeks as well. So Basildon is going really well. So there you go. Wickford's doing well. Langdon's doing well. Basildon's doing well. What about Pitsea? Well, the good news is that the CDC, the Community Diagnostic Centre, again, thanks to the hard work of councillors Hilliard, Westwick, Palmer, Callaghan, not me, the other one, Baker and Reid, we've got the funding in place for the Community Diagnostic Centre. Remember, this is one of the nonsense Boris Johnson ones that was never actually funded. Well, Wes Streeton and the Labour Party did come along and fund it, and we've now got the Pitsea CDC construction underway. So demolition is moving on really fast. They are just about to finish the demolition there. They've got the NHS have procured the construction firm. They are going to be coming in and they're going to begin construction on the new Community Diagnostic Centre down in Pitsea. And this is going to open in the autumn of 2026. So again, a massive positive for Pitsea. There's going to be about 200,000 people using the Pitsea CDC every year. X-rays, radiography, all other manner of things going on down there. So again, it will boost footfall. It'll be great for traders, great for the market, great for the local area in Pitsea as well. So again, Wickford's doing well, Langdon's doing well, Basildon's doing well, Pitsea's doing well. The final thing to talk about is the ambulance hub. So this has been kicking around for a long time. The land at the top of Nethermain, next to the golf course, this has been on the card since I was the leader last time. We are trying to create a brand new state-of-the-art ambulance hub for the boys and girls who are part of our paramedic service in the east of England. And the ambulance hub is ready to go. So we've got the planning applications in at the moment. They want to get out of where they are in the town centre at the moment. They want to be close to the hospital, close to the A13. And there's a brilliant site at the top of the Nethermain there for the ambulance hub to go. And we've been working hard with the guys and girls at the East of England Ambulance Service to bring that forward. And that will be a really, really smart development there as well. So that is another huge positive in terms of the regeneration work that is ongoing. Housing regen, we're cooking on gas here at Basildon Council, delivering every single day. The next thing to talk about is the Easter egg drive. So again, thank you. We've had over 1,000 Easter eggs donated as part of the Easter egg drive. So a huge thank you to everybody. We are going to be next week, the cabinet members and I are going to be out delivering these Easter eggs to our sheltered housing schemes to make sure our elderly residents who are not, hopefully not socially isolated, but making sure that they've got some Easter eggs for Easter, and also our kids in temporary accommodation. I have to say, every day I've been taking photos with businesses that have been donating. I've given chocolate up for Lent, the good Catholic that I am. I am counting down the bloody days until Easter Sunday, where I'm hopeful that Mrs. Callaghan will have got me the largest Easter egg known to man, because I'm craving chocolate at the moment. But it's been great to see all of the eggs being donated, and we're going to be delivering those next week to our sheltered housing schemes and our temporary accommodation families who've got children as well. So a huge thank you to everybody who has donated Easter eggs, and there is still time. If you are out shopping over the weekend and you have got the time and space to put another few eggs in your basket that you can donate, you can get them to us next week here at the Baz Centre. Just come and drop them off at reception. The guys and girls down at reception will take them off you. We'll make sure that they get bagged up and delivered to the front doors of our sheltered housing schemes and our TA families as well. So if you can, please continue to donate as well. Some dates for your diary coming up. If you're a small business, don't forget we've got our small business network events. They are on the second Monday of every month, 8 o'clock at Metro Bank in Basildon Town Centre. Come along if you're looking to build your business, get some mentoring, get some new clients. It's a really great networking opportunity. We've got the dates and the locations as well for the Meet the Leader event as well. So we've got 2 more events to go. So Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm going to be in Leindon. I'm going to be at the Paddocks Centre in Leindon. And then on Wednesday, the 30th of April, at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I'm going to be in Pitsea, I think at the Northlands Community Centre. We're just going to double check that to make sure that's been confirmed. There will be Eventbrite links that are published, and you can go online and you can book that as well. So 2 Meet the Leader events, Leindon on Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 7 p.m. at the Paddocks, and Wednesday, the 30th of April in Pitsea at the Northlands Community Centre near to Felmores and Northlands Park. Another date for your diary, if you live in and around Pitsea, the 22nd of April at 7 p.m. at the Upper Academy on Wickford Avenue. There is a public meeting about road safety. And this follows the tragic incident on Ashlands on the 1st of February, where we lost Roman and Darcy Castleton in that tragic accident, or road traffic incident, I should say, on Ashlands. If you would like to come to that meeting, then please do get yourself along to the Upper Academy on the 22nd of April at 7 p.m. with the Pitsea councillors who will be there. I should just say that incident is a live criminal investigation at the moment, so it is not possible on the 22nd of April to discuss that incident. But if you have any concerns about other road safety issues, perhaps on Burnt Mills Road, on Tyrefields, on any other part of Rectory Road or any other part of Pitsea that you would like to come along and raise with the Highways Authority, then you can do that on the 22nd of April. But that has been arranged by the Pitsea Northwest councillors in response to that incident. Hopefully there might be a chance for people, because lots of people were reaching out saying that there are lots of road traffic incidents or near misses in Pitsea because the road network there is perhaps not as safe as it could be. This has been arranged by those councillors for you to go along and have your say there. Park Play have got a big spring party weekend this weekend on the 12th of April. So there are 6 Park Play locations: the Eversley Park, Northlands, Mopsy's Park, Markham's Chase, Gloucester Park, and in Vange at Swanmead. So there'll be lots of things going on for families. There'll be Easter egg hunts and other themed games. So if you would like to come along, check out the Park Play Facebook page. We'll put a link in the comment section there. But if you can get along to some of those Park Play events this weekend, that's great fun for all the family as we approach Easter. We've also got the outreach bus and engagement team. So as I was mentioning, if you are struggling financially, if you are in financial hardship, you'd like to speak to some experts and get some advice on anything to do with housing and homelessness inquiries, discretionary housing payments, council tax, whatever it might be, and you'd like to get some help and support and some signposting, then we're going to be at Pitsea Market on Tuesday the 15th of April from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're going to be on Billericay High Street on Tuesday the 29th of April from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. as well. You can always get in touch if you are financially struggling as well. You can email me, leader@basildon.gov.uk. There is a 10-day turnaround on emails at the moment, so please do bear with us as we're working through the enormous number of emails that we get every week. But if you would like any help or support, get yourself to the outreach and engagement bus sessions that are taking place in Pitsea Market on the 15th of April, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m, or on Billericay on Tuesday, 29th of April, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Morgan Sindall drop-in sessions, extremely busy today. I was down in the reception and I was seeing lots of residents turning up today to come and speak to Morgan Sindall face-to-face to raise their issues that they're having. Every Thursday at 10 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m. We've extended the hours there now because of how many people are coming along to ask their questions here at the Baz Centre. We are still trying to work through some evening sessions and some weekend sessions, and we will let you know more about that, more about those dates when we get them. The local plan, you have until the 14th of April to have your say on part 2 of the Regulation 18 consultation. So get online, the Commonplace website, your chance to talk about what you want to see in terms of housing and development, or if your flavour is what you don't want to see in terms of housing and development as well. All comments are read and responded to, so please do get your comments in there. Last week, I said to you that every single week that I was turning up onto Facebook Live, I had a story to tell about enforcement. And this week is no different because Basildon Council has been in the courts yet again. Last Friday, we were at the county court and we have secured a possession order and a council tenant has lost their council home for persistent antisocial behaviour. So we said at the turn of the year in 2025, we were going to get tough on enforcement. And every single week that we have been in administration over the course of the last few months, we've been in the courts and we've been getting success stories. Whether that is possession orders because of antisocial behaviour, whether that is £1,000 fines because of fly tipping, whatever it is, we are going to make sure that this borough is as safe as it possibly can be, and that nuisance people are not in our council homes. If you are in a council home and you are engaging in antisocial behaviour, we're going to enforce against you. We're going to deal with it. And this is another prime example of where we've taken that action. We've taken it through the courts, and we've been able to help a resident. We've also been supporting one of our vulnerable residents who has had her life blighted by domestic violence. And so, again, our teams here at the council have been working with that resident and we've been able to get that resident out of that abusive household as well. And that resident is now getting her life back on track. So every single day, whether it is antisocial behaviour, domestic abuse, sexual violence, whatever it might be, our officers are working really, really hard to make this borough a safer place for everybody. So another huge success story there when it comes to enforcement. And I know for a fact we're back in the courts again this week. So I'm looking forward to next week's update where there will be more enforcement action. Let's talk about the bins, right? Because we can't go an hour without talking about the bins in this place. We're fixing the bins. And so you told us in the second largest survey ever conducted by Basildon Council that you wanted weekly black bin collections to return. And from the week commencing the 28th of April, weekly black bin collections return. Every single black bin on every single road, every single week will be collected. Now, we're also making changes to the recycling. Those horrendous blue and white sacks are being scrapped, and you are getting disposable, recyclable blue and white bags. Don't panic if you've not had them yet. They are coming. We have 82,000 households to deliver to, and we are working our way around the borough. I have not had mine yet myself, but we will get to you. This is happening every single day between now and the 28th of April, and you will get those bags delivered to you in good time in order for you to be able to put as much blue and white recycling out as you like every single week. This is a service that is going to be cheaper to run for the council, but it is also going to make life so much easier for residents who, as I know, have been struggling with these changes. I can tell you, having two children under the age of 2, that nappies are no fun, sat in a black bin, especially for 2 weeks when the weather is starting to get warm. And so that is why, amongst other things, we are dealing with that and we are getting the weekly black bin collections to return. We're running road shows as well for people. If anyone would like to come and talk to us about those changes, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m, you can come along to chat to the team. We've already been out in Wickford. We've already been out in Leindon. We've been out in Billericay. On the 16th of April, we're going to be in Pitsea Market from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m, and that's on the 16th of April. On the 23rd of April, we're going to be in Basildon Town Centre as well. So you can come along, you can have a chat to us, you can understand a bit more about what we are doing when it comes to the waste changes. It is not lost on me that now we're making these changes. People are telling us there was never anything wrong with it. We shouldn't be going anywhere near it. But I can tell you that, number one, this service costs £2.3 million more to administer than was planned. So it is a hugely expensive service to have to run. So that is a reason to get rid of it and scrap the system. I can tell you, number two, the incidences of fly tipping and dumping are through the roof because of the changes to the system. That is a reason to get rid of it. I can tell you that the litter bins on our roads are consistently overflowing because people are putting black waste in those litter bins. That is another reason to get rid of it. And those blue and white sacks are awful. And that is another reason to get rid of it as well. So, and then I should say, you told us in the second largest ever survey, over 8,000 people responded. 90% of people wanted us to get rid of the sacks and go back to weekly collections, and we're doing it. Basildon Council from the 28th of April will be the only council in Essex that is providing a weekly black bin and recycling collection. So people are getting more value for money under this administration here in Basildon than you ever did under the Tories before. Let's just go back to questions and have a quick run through of the questions. Sorry, I think I'm talking too much because I'm coughing a lot here. Okay, let's have a look. Loads of questions coming in. Good to see people engaging. Janice has asked me about sheltered housing. I am very pleased, Janice, to hear you ask me about sheltered housing because we are making some real changes with sheltered housing. So the truth is that the sheltered housing stock has not been properly invested in for years. And as part of the budget that went through on the 13th of February, we set aside around £16 million for additional improvements. And part of that will be looking at sheltered housing and improving the sheltered housing schemes that we have in our borough. So that is definitely something that I'm keen to explore, particularly as we move towards being a unitary authority where we will have control of adult social care. It is really, really important that we have a good quality, up-to-date sheltered housing stock. So I'm going to be making more announcements about that in early May. So thank you for raising that, because that is a really, really interesting point. I'm asked about whether Heriot will pull down the old co-op site. The answer to that is yes. We have served them with an enforcement notice to do that, and they are having to comply with it. It runs concurrently, I have to say, with the planning application, but as soon as the planning application is through the process, we will be seeing that building come down very, very quickly, but that is definitely something that we've been asking about. I'm asked about the repurposing of Wickford Police Station. That will happen in this financial year. So by the end of March 2025, what we announced, 25, March 2026, that will have happened. The old police station in Pitsea, this was bought by a private developer. It wasn't purchased by Basildon Council. But I'll take that away, Paul, and I'll have a look at what we can do in terms of an enforcement notice on that, because if it isn't an eyesore, we can deal with that. I noticed that Billericay Police Station is back on the market as well, so it'll be interesting to see who is able to buy that. Matt Knight asks me around the lights that are being taken down in the town centre. So this comes back to a piece of work that we have been doing for the last few weeks, months now, around improving the lighting in the town centre. So some of them are being taken out and upgraded, putting the electrics in good order. Others are being replaced entirely. So that is happening at the moment. But we've put about £110,000 into improvements there when it comes to the lighting. So all of that will start to happen in the next few weeks as well. So hopefully people will see improvements when it comes to lighting in the town centre. I'm asked about what's going on at Pitsea Market. I wasn't aware of that, but we can have a little look at that as well. Okay, just having a look through here. I keep asking about whether or not these bags are going to blow away in the wind. I suppose there's several points to that. One is pink sacks didn't blow away in the wind, so I'm not sure that these ones will. Point number two is, if they do blow away in the wind, it doesn't really matter to you, because they will be getting picked up by the refuse guys and disposed of straight away. So it's not like at the moment where they blow away and then you have to go on Facebook and ask your neighbours, has anyone seen the blue sack for number 10? It's, you're not going to have to go and get it back, so you don't need to worry about it. But nonetheless, the bags, we're not expecting them to blow away. The pink sacks didn't blow away everywhere, and we're not expecting these to. Obviously, this is for recycling, so cardboard, paper, cans, tins, plastic. So again, we're not expecting this to be full of food or anything like that. So we're not expecting these to be torn open and whatever else. But look, we'll keep it all under review. We'll monitor it. We'll make sure that the assessments are done, and if there are particular issues, then we'll come back and we'll make changes accordingly. But we're confident that this system is going to be a hell of a lot better than the previous system. I'm asked about if there is any guidance for residents who are the subject of ASB. I encourage you to get in touch with your local councillors who can raise that. If you are struggling with ASB, depending on the level of ASB, you can either contact the police directly or you can contact the council. Our community safety and ASB officers can provide advice to residents as well. So do reach out to your councillors and they'll be able to point you in the right direction on that. Have I seen the amount of rubbish being dumped behind Brook House? I think I have received an email about this in regards to behind the WH Smiths as well. So that is something that I have raised this week, Matt Knight. So leave that with me, because I am aware of that issue now, and so we will be enforcing there, and we will be going along and clearing that as well. So thank you for raising that. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Good to see people loving Keir. We should all love Keir. He's putting millions of pounds into Basildon, so that is good. Yep, okay, I'll take that away in respect of the market. If you have Gillian, if you have any questions at all about housing, then email me at leader@basildon.gov.uk, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions that you may have. Thank you very much. There was lots of questions that came in there. I'm really, really grateful to you all for engaging with us. I will be back next Thursday, but before I go, it was always pertinent to remind you that Basildon Council is working on 5 in 2025. We are: number one, fixing the bins. From the week commencing the 28th of April, we are going back to weekly black sack collections, black bin collections, and we're getting rid of those god-awful blue and white sacks and replacing them with disposable and recyclable blue and white bags. We will be the only council anywhere in Essex providing a weekly black and recycling service. The second is we regenerate in our towns. As you've heard tonight, In Wickford, the supermarket is coming. The police hub is the police station is being transformed into a community safety hub. The CDC is being built in Pitsea. Lidl is going to start being built in June in Langdon. The rest of the shopping centre will start being built in September. In Basildon, the Eastgate Shopping Centre is going from strength to strength. The hospital is under construction and it will be opening in the autumn. The Weatherspoons is coming. There are new food and beverage units coming on the side of the cinema as well. Where else have I missed? The ambulance hub is coming as well at the top of the Nether Main. So we're going to have more access for our boys and girls in the East of England ambulance service. We are building homes for Basildon people. We've opened 48 brand new council homes in Cricketers Court in Pitsea. We are making sure that local Basildon people are prioritised. Basildon will always come first so long as I'm sat in this chair as leader of the council. So will Basildon people, so will Basildon skills, so will Basildon jobs, so will Basildon companies in the supply chain. 41 brand new TA properties opened this week. 70 brand new council homes are coming at Chapelgate. 35 brand new key worker homes are also coming at Chapelgate. There are 19 brand new homes coming on Broadmain. There are more coming at Tyfields. Everywhere you look at the moment, we are delivering on our promises to build homes for local Basildon people, underpinned by the Basildon First Charter that says they all must be sold or rented to Basildon residents first for a full 12 months. We're making our community safer. We're taking action in the courts. We are enforcing against those responsible for ASB. We have got a new public safety protection team that are out in our town centres, patrolling in Basildon, patrolling in Wickford. We're getting tough on antisocial behaviour. We are going to make sure that these town centres are safe. We've got new lighting going in Basildon and a whole range of other community safety initiatives to support victims of domestic abuse, domestic violence, as well as those suffering with antisocial behaviour. And we are backing Basildon businesses, creating the construction academy, getting the skills into the supply chain that people need, and ensuring that if you are a Basildon Bricky, Chippy and Sparky, you will have a job for life here in Basildon. Thank you all very much for joining us. Hopefully, these are useful sessions, and I hope that whatever your politics, whatever you think of nationally, I hope you can see here locally, this administration is delivering every single day on the promises that we made, putting Basildon first, ensuring Basildon gets its fair share of investment. Thank you all so much for listening to me. I'll see you all again next week.
Hello, it's the King of the Bins, Aidan McGurran, Basildon Council's Cabinet Member for Environment and Leisure. We have noticed a lot of residents engaging with our recent social media about the upcoming waste changes. Along with distribution of your new bags, you should have received a leaflet explaining the new service, which can also be found on our website. Please check these out as they will tell you everything you need to know. In the upcoming weeks, we have 6 roadshows taking place across the borough, where the team will be on hand to answer all your questions and advise on a new service and any general waste related queries. These will take place between 9 AM and 1 PM across the borough, so make a note of your nearest roadshow and pop along to see the team if you can. In the meantime, if you wish to learn more, head to the website where there is a list of frequently asked questions that might be able to help you. We've listened and now we're delivering for you. Let's continue to bring pride back to our borough. For more details, head to the council website. Thank you very much.